Claude just changed the way I create AI videos. What used to take me hours now takes me less than 10 minutes because I can access Seedance 2.0 directly from it. And the craziest part is that the quality is actually better than ever before. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the exact workflow I use with Claude while also sharing my custom Claude skill that does 80% of the work for me. Now for this workflow, we need to connect two things. The first one is Higgsfield, which is going to give us access to Seedance 2.0 and all the other image and video generators. And the second one is Claude, which is going to be the actual brain behind the scenes. Now, if you don't have a Higgsfield account yet, I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can sign up. Once you're inside, here are the exact steps you need to follow to set up the workflow. First, head over to the MCP and CLI tab from the top bar. Here, pick MCP and make sure Claude is selected. And as you can see, there are multiple options, but we want to copy this URL. Now, if you have no idea what this is, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. And even though it might sound complicated, all it is just a piece of software that helps our Claude chatbot get access to the AI video generator. So let's go ahead and take the MCP URL to Claude so it can set up the connection to Higgsfield and all its AI features. For this, you can use both the desktop app or the web version. However, I feel like the app is way easier to work with, but you choose whatever works best for you. From here, I'll go to Settings and click on Connectors. Next, you'll see this plus button. So let's press it and then go with Add Custom Connector. After that, we get this pop-up where we need to fill in some fields. So I'll name the connector Higgsfield, paste the URL I just copied, and set the required permissions to always allow. And just like this, I can now open any chat inside Claude, click the plus button in the input field, and toggle Higgsfield on, which means that anything I type inside the chat will work with Higgsfield directly. So I don't need to go back and forth between Claude and the video generator, which makes the entire workflow at least 2 times faster. But now, let's actually test if the connection was made successfully. So I'll open a new chat inside Claude and toggle Higgsfield on. Then I'll write this quick prompt. Now, as you can see, the prompt itself is really simple because I'm just trying to see if the setup was successful. So let's press enter and see what Claude gives us back. As you can see, it's working. So let's take a look at the video created with Seedance 2.0. Well, the motion looks really smooth. The car moves at high speed through the tunnel just as we asked, and you can even see the tunnel lights reflecting off the body just the way they would in real life. So for a one-sentence prompt, Seedance really nailed it. But if you want to make AI videos for a real project, there are 2 big problems that will come up very fast. The first one is that if you use this simple method, you don't get much control over the outcome. And the second one is that if you try to create multiple scenes inside the same video, the consistency will fall apart. So if your character looks one way in the first scene, in the third or fourth one, it can look completely different, but you don't have to worry about it because I'm going to show you 3 different methods to properly use this setup. So I'll start with the easiest one, then move on to the intermediate, and finally, I'll show you the advanced strategy that some of the best creators I know and I use to create cinematic short films with AI. Alright, so for the first method, we're going to build a TV spot ad for an energy drink where I'll be the main character. So let's go ahead and create the reference image of myself. For this, I'm going to be using this selfie. However, I'm not going to paste this in and just hope to get a character that looks exactly like me, because this is one of the most common mistakes I see creators make. So let me tell you the secret that actually makes a character look like you in any scene. But first, you need to understand why simply uploading this selfie would be a mistake in the first place. You see, if I upload this, the AI will simply see my face from the front. But what happens if there's a scene where I turn to the camera and start running? Do you really think the AI knows exactly what the back of my head looks like or the side of it? Well, it doesn't. What it'll do is try to figure out how I look from those angles, and sometimes it may miss some details. So if you want to make sure the character stays consistent no matter what position it ends up in, we want to create a multi-angle character sheet where we put together multiple shots in one image. But this doesn't mean I'm going to take more selfies with the side of my head and the back. I'm actually going to use AI to do it for me. So here's the prompt I'm going to paste in. And as you can see, there are now multiple angles the AI can use to get a full understanding of how I look. So I don't have to worry about character consistency anymore. Now, one quick thing I want to mention here is that if Claude gives you an error, there's a high probability there's a setting you need to turn on. So for this, go to Settings, then to Capabilities, and allow all domains. This will fix the problem immediately. Now let's get back and move on to creating the energy drink for our ad. This step is going to be way easier than the previous one because we just need to paste this prompt to get the result. But one thing I want to mention here is that every time you create a reference image for your product, make sure the background is clean. That way, the AI knows exactly which one is your product and you can get the best quality in the final video. From here, we can build the avatar image, which is just my character placed inside the actual scene of the ad. So for this, I'll use the multi-angle reference we just created and paste it in the chat. And alongside it, I'll also add this prompt. Honestly, this came out really well. Like, it looks like me, and the only difference is that the scene is now in a park with that natural blurred background. So now that we have all these references ready, we can actually go ahead and build the TV spot ad. We're going to write our prompt inside Claude, but we're going to make sure to specify Marketing Studio inside Higgsfield. Now, this is a feature specifically built for ad style videos, and the way it works is that it's pretty much trained on some of the best and highest converting ads out there. So it follows the same patterns those ads use, which means our ad inherits that high quality as well. Now for the references, I'll place in my avatar image and the energy drink image I generated earlier. And in the prompt, I'll tell it that I want to generate a TV spot ad in Marketing Studio, explain how to use the reference images, and set up the rest of the settings, such as the duration to 15 seconds, the resolution at 1080p, and the audio on, but with no voiceovers. So let me press generate and see the ad. Honestly, I feel this is really cool. Like, even though I know it's an ad, I'd watch it on TV just because of how cool the effects are. And there's nothing I can point out because the character looks exactly like me and stays consistent throughout the entire video. However, as you can see, this only took us one generation because the video itself was pretty short. But what happens when we want to create something longer that means multiple generations? Well, AI is still not perfect and it can make mistakes in some of the clips. So when you have multiple generations, not all of them will be perfect. And if you try to regenerate all of them, you'll burn through your credits really fast. So that's exactly why I'm going to show you the storyboard approach I use to save a ton of credits and still get cinematic results. So let's get into the intermediate method, where we're going to build a 30-second cinematic video. So first, before we touch the video generator, we're going to plan the entire 30-second sequence as a storyboard first. This way, we'll get full control over the video while also saving a lot of credits along the way. So let's head back to Claude with Higgsfield connected and ask it to build a 6-panel storyboard layout of our action sequence. And here's the prompt I'll paste in. As you can see, I'm describing the entire story in one prompt, while also including the panel layout I want. So let's press send. Well, this storyboard came out really good for the first try. You can see all 6 panels showing me running through the snow with the camera angles shifting from wide to medium across the grid. Now, here's why this is really important. We spent a fraction of the cost to generate this image. And if there's anything that we don't like in it, we can edit it as many times as we want, because the cost of doing so is so low compared to regenerating an entire video. And once we get it right, we can simply use it as a reference image inside Claude and tell it to use each small image from the grid to create a scene using Seedance 2.0. So let me show you how this works in practice. Looking at our storyboard, most of the images look good. However, there are some details I want to change. In the third panel, I want to make the slope steeper so it actually feels dramatic. And in the fifth panel, it feels like that person looks more like a silhouette. So I don't want that. I want it to look like a real human. So I'm going to write a prompt that will tell Claude to edit these exact things. And here it is. Alongside it, I'll paste a storyboard so that Claude can edit it and give me the final version. And here's the revised storyboard. The slope is way more dramatic now, and you can clearly see the person's face in the final panel. So let's use it to create the first generation, which is going to be 15 seconds. For this, I'll ask Claude to use panels 1 through 3 of the storyboard as the reference, and then simply press generate. This is exactly what I had in mind when creating this storyboard. You can see me sprinting through the snow, with the camera angles shifting just like in the panels. I really like the slow-mo when my character hits the tree, but what I really think is impressive is when he falls on that slope, because the snow behind him makes it feel so realistic. Now, for the second generation, which will be for the next 15 seconds, I'll use the rest of the images from the storyboard. So the process is pretty much the same. And the result is looking just as good as the first one. Like, there's nothing I can point out here. My character looks the same, and I think Seedance really nailed down the emotions, because as you can see, I'm getting scared when I see that silhouette and then start running. So now that we have both of these clips, we can stitch them together inside CapCut. I'll drop them on the timeline, make any edits if necessary, and then export it. Just look how it came out. Honestly, this is way more cinematic than what we got in the previous method. And the best part is, we only spent a fraction of the credits on the storyboard, and we only had to generate the videos once. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have hours to spend writing all the prompts for these kinds of videos by hand. So that's exactly why I created a Claude skill to handle all of that for me. And that's exactly what the advanced method is. Inside, we make Claude take one rough sentence and turn it into a full professional prompt that you can simply copy and paste to get some of the best results. So for the advanced method, we're going to install a custom Claude skill that takes one rough sentence and turns it into a full professional prompt that you can simply copy and paste to get some of the best results. Now, if you've never heard about an AI skill before, it's basically a set of instructions you give to Claude. And every time you ask it to run, it simply follows the steps inside. You can create one for almost anything, from reading your emails and sending you a message when something important comes in, to creating the best prompts specifically made for Seedance 2.0. Now, for that, you need to know how a good prompt looks and how AI works behind the scenes. So if you're completely new to this, it might seem quite overwhelming, and I get it. Not many people want to spend hours and hours just to build a good skill. That's why today I'm going to give you my personal skill that I use to create these prompts. And I'll leave a link to it in the description down below if you want to use it. It's completely free. Now let me show you how you can install it. So once you have the file, head into Claude, press on Customize, and then on the Skill section. And on this plus button, we press Upload a Skill. And just like that, the skill is now part of Claude, which means anytime I ask it for a Seedance prompt in a new chat, the skill auto triggers and runs in the background. So let's give it a try. For this, I'm going to start a brand new Claude chat with Higgsfield connected, and I'll upload the image with my character, so the AI knows the exact person I want to use inside the prompt. Then I'll write one loose sentence describing the video I want. Let's press send and wait for a couple of seconds. Now just look at the prompt it gave us. It's broken down into 2 generations with 15 seconds each, and for each one, it gave us 3 different shots. So the video generator knows exactly when to cut through each scene. But this isn't all. If you look closer, you'll see that each shot has a highly detailed prompt that specifies the reference image, the action happening, the environment, and the lighting. As you can see here in the first shot, it mentions heavy snow, low clouds, cool tones, and harsh light. And it also tells Seedance the exact camera angle, which for shot 1 is a wide cinematic tracking shot from the side. And the same level of detail goes for all the other shots. And if you think about it, writing this prompt alone by hand would probably take you at least an hour because of the amount of details inside. Plus, it has to be structured in a way that Seedance understands, so it can give you the best results. But with the skill, I literally got it in less than 2 minutes. And now I can focus on creating the video itself. But before I do that, there's one safety step I always take, and that's creating a storyboard. Now this might seem weird, but I'm doing this extra step to make sure the prompt Claude generated is exactly what I want. Because with the storyboard, I'll see the exact scenes it'll create. And if there's a detail I want to modify, I can simply edit it for just a few credits instead of regenerating an entire video. So for this, I'll use pretty much the same process as before. I'll ask Claude to take the shot list and turn it into a 6-panel storyboard. Okay, this time it has everything I want, and I don't need to edit anything. Now, one cool thing I noticed is that it even added the words my character is going to say inside the video, which is really useful. So now we can go ahead and generate the 2 generations. For the first first one, I'll paste in the storyboard as an image reference and tell Claude to use the first 3 panels. And here's the result we get back. Honestly, this looks like something out of a movie trailer. You can see the snow flying behind me as I push through the storm, and the way the camera tracks alongside me makes it feel like a real wide shot from a film set. Now for the second generation, I'll do the same. I'll attach the storyboard and paste in the prompt that I got from Claude. And here it is.
I thought I lost you.
Now look at the character continuity. The character stays consistent throughout the entire video, just like the lighting and the location. But what really gets me is the emotional moment at the end, where my character finds the woman in the red jacket and gives her a hug. You can even hear him say the line, "I thought I lost you," just like we saw inside the storyboard. Now all that's left is to stitch both clips together inside CapCut, using the same process as before. And here's how it came out.
I thought I lost you.
There's nothing I can point out. The entire video feels cinematic, but the best part is I made it in less than 5 minutes using the Claude skill that created all the prompts for me. So if you want to do the same, I'll leave a link to the skill in the description down below alongside Higgsfield so you can start creating your own AI videos today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.